A 100-pound tomato plant isn't magic. It's the result of a $0 method that master gardeners across America have quietly used for decades, and almost no YouTube video will show you. The whole secret is a 12-inch circle. One simple step with free cardboard, done the way most gardening videos teach completely wrong. In the next 13 minutes, why cardboard actually works, the step-by-step $0 cardboard donut method, the 5 mistakes that kill tomato plants even when the formula is followed, and the 5 places where cardboard should never go. And before laying cardboard near your house, do not skip the termite section. It could save your foundation. Before getting to the method, here's why this matters so much for any gardener growing tomatoes in America right now. Weeds creep around tomato stems faster than the plants themselves grow, turning every spring into a losing battle with crabgrass, pigweed, and bindweed that never really ends. The soil dries out by noon in July heat, no matter how deep the bed, and tomato leaves wilt before the sun even hits its peak. Every rainstorm splashes dirt up onto the lower leaves, and within weeks, early blight, septoria spots, and fungal disease spread up the entire plant, killing the harvest before it even starts. Commercial mulch is not a real solution. A single bag costs $5 to $10 and barely covers a small bed. Quality compost costs even more. A serious tomato garden can burn through hundreds of dollars in mulch every single season. Meanwhile, there's a $0 alternative sitting in nearly every American garage right now. Free cardboard from Amazon boxes, from grocery store dumpsters, from delivery packaging, thrown away by the ton every single week. And here's the part nobody talks about. Master gardeners working through cooperative extension programs have used cardboard for tomatoes for decades. The method is solid. The science is solid. It just rarely makes it into a viral YouTube video because it sounds too simple to click on. The question isn't whether to use cardboard. The question is how to use it the right way, the way master gardeners actually do. So why does cardboard actually work? Not the YouTube version. The real, science-backed reason it has earned a place in master gardener programs for decades. Cardboard does 4 specific things for a tomato garden, and once these 4 benefits are understood, the formula in the next section will make perfect sense. First, cardboard blocks sunlight. Weed seeds need light to sprout, and a single dense layer of cardboard blocks nearly all sunlight from reaching the soil underneath. The ground turns into a dark room where weeds simply cannot grow. Second, cardboard holds in moisture. It acts like a blanket sitting on top of the soil, slowing down how fast water evaporates in the summer heat. In many gardens, this alone can cut watering time significantly, especially during dry spells in July and August. Third, cardboard stops soil splash. When rain or a hose hits bare dirt, soil particles fly up onto the lower leaves, carrying fungal spores with them. That single splash is how early blight and septoria spots get started. A layer of cardboard creates a physical barrier that stops this from ever happening. Fourth, cardboard slowly breaks down into organic matter. Over time, it becomes food for earthworms and soil microbes, loosening compacted soil and feeding the living network underneath. This is especially valuable for heavy clay gardens that have been struggling for years. But here is the most important rule, the one master gardeners follow, without exception. Cardboard only helps a tomato plant when it stays outside the breathing zone around the stem. That single principle is the entire reason for the formula coming up next. This is the $0 cardboard donut method, the same step-by-step formula master gardeners have been quietly using for decades. 3 steps, free materials, and every measurement matters. Step 1. Keep the first 12 inches around the stem completely clear. Measure exactly 12 inches out from the tomato stem in every direction. This entire circle is a no-go zone. No cardboard, no thick mulch, no covering of any kind. This is where young roots breathe, and where the plant pulls nitrogen directly from the soil. Lay anything heavy here, and the plant is starved from the very first week. Use a stick, a measuring tape, or even a paper plate to mark the 12-inch circle around every single tomato before going further. Step 2. Build the donut trench outside that 12-inch line. Right where the clear zone ends, dig a ring-shaped trench, 4 inches deep, 6 inches wide, going all the way around the plant, like a donut. Drop in a 2-inch layer of aged manure, coffee grounds, fresh grass clippings, or any nitrogen-rich material. This feeding layer is the key. It feeds the microbes that will break down the cardboard. Then tear cardboard into pieces 1 to 4 inches across and spread it on top. Finish with another 2 inches of compost or aged manure pressed lightly down. Step 3. Whole cardboard sheets only go beyond 18 inches. Past the donut trench, full sheets of cardboard can be laid down flat to suppress weeds across the rest of the bed. Overlap each sheet by at least 4 to 6 inches so weeds cannot find a gap. Before laying anything, soak the cardboard until it is fully limp. Dry cardboard turns waterproof. Then cover the whole layer with 3 inches of wood chips or bark mulch on top. This keeps the cardboard from drying out, locks in moisture, and finishes the bed cleanly. But here's the catch. The $0 cardboard donut method is only half the story. Even with the 12-inch rule followed perfectly, cardboard can still kill a tomato plant in 5 very specific ways, and the first mistake is the quietest one. Most gardeners do not catch it until the leaves are already turning yellow from the bottom up. Quick favor before getting into the mistakes. Drop a comment with the state and soil type of the garden. Answers will be given to every comment in the first week. And do not skip mistake number 3. That one could be inviting termites toward the foundation of the house right now. Mistake number 1. The hungry layer. This is what happens when the donut trench gets dug correctly. The 12-inch rule gets followed perfectly, but the nitrogen feeding layer gets skipped. Without that feeding layer, the cardboard does not have its own food source to break down. So it pulls nitrogen from the surrounding soil instead, the same nitrogen the tomato roots are reaching for. A common scenario in humid Midwest gardens. A gardener lays the donut perfectly, skips the manure or coffee grounds because the bed already looks rich enough. 4 weeks later, the lower leaves turn pale yellow. 2 weeks after that, the yellow climbs up the plant. By harvest time, the yield is a fraction of what the neighbor's garden produced, with no cardboard at all. The fix is simple. Always lay down at least 2 inches of aged manure, coffee grounds, or fresh grass clippings inside the trench before adding any torn cardboard on top. That feeding layer is not optional. Mistake number 2. The wet blanket. This one happens when whole cardboard sheets get used inside the donut trench instead of torn pieces. A solid sheet of wet cardboard does not just block weeds. It seals off the soil from oxygen. Roots stop breathing, helpful microbes die, and anaerobic bacteria take over, producing that sour, swampy smell every gardener dreads. A common scenario in rainy mid-Atlantic gardens. A gardener uses whole flattened boxes right around the stem, soaks the bed heavily to speed up the breakdown, and a few weeks later lifts an edge of the cardboard. The soil underneath is gray. The smell is sour. The roots are soft, dark, and falling apart between the fingers. The fix. Inside the donut trench, only use shredded cardboard 1 to 4 inches across. Whole sheets stay outside the 18-inch line and always go under a thick layer of wood chips on top. Mistake number 3. The Pest Hotel. This is the mistake that can affect more than just the tomato plant. Damp cardboard pressed flat against the soil creates the perfect hiding spot for voles and the perfect feeding ground for subterranean termites. A common scenario in Great Lakes gardens. A gardener piles thick cardboard around a raised bed for weed control. The tomatoes look great for 3 weeks. One Tuesday morning, every single stem is found sliced clean off at the soil line. Voles, living warm and dry under the cardboard, ate the plants from the ground up. Now about termites. University Extension Services consistently recommend keeping cardboard mulch and other dense organic mulches away from wooden foundations, decks, and fences. The reason is documented in entomology research. Cardboard is so attractive to subterranean termites that professional pest control companies use it as the standard bait matrix in their commercial monitoring systems. The chemistry behind it: industrial pulping strips away up to 93% of the natural defenses wood uses to repel termites in the first place. The fix. Always cover whole cardboard sheets with 3 inches of wood chips. And never place cardboard within a few feet of any wooden structure attached to the house. Mistake number 4. The 60-day lie. Many gardening videos promise that cardboard will fully break down into rich soil in 60 days. That is half the truth at best. After 60 days, cardboard has only fallen apart physically. Becoming actual humus takes many months, sometimes years. And the first 60 days are when cardboard is hungriest for nitrogen. Planting young tomatoes into freshly laid cardboard during this window is the fastest way to recreate. Mistake number 1. Yellow leaves, stunted growth, weak harvest. The fix. Whole cardboard sheets need 4 to 6 months to stabilize before planting nitrogen-hungry crops like tomatoes, unless the $0 cardboard donut method is used. The 12-inch clear zone protects the young roots from competition, which is exactly why planting and laying the donut can happen on the same day. Mistake number 5. Laying cardboard down dry. Cardboard that goes down dry, especially in hot, low-humidity climates, does something unexpected. It does not slowly absorb water from rain or irrigation. It turns into a stiff, waxy, water-repellent layer. Rain and hose water slide off it instead of soaking through to the roots. The plant can be watered every single day and still receive almost nothing. The fix: always soak the cardboard in a bucket of water or hose it down heavily until it is fully limp before laying it on the soil. Then immediately cover it with 3 inches of wood chips or bark mulch to lock in that moisture for the long haul. Even with the formula perfect and the 5 mistakes avoided, there are 5 places where cardboard should never go. Period. These are the red zones, gardens and conditions where even the $0 cardboard donut method cannot save the plant. Master gardeners avoid every one of these without exception. Red Zone 1. Heavy clay soil, or any garden that holds standing water after rain. Cardboard makes a bad drainage problem worse. The soil suffocates, roots rot, and no technique can undo it. If water still sits in the bed 24 hours after a rainstorm, cardboard does not belong there. Red Zone 2. Containers and raised beds shallower than 12 inches. There is simply not enough depth for the 12-inch clear zone, the donut trench, and the root system to coexist. Cardboard clogs the drainage holes and creates a swampy layer at the bottom. Tomatoes in shallow containers need a different mulch entirely. Red Zone 3. Anywhere within a few feet of a wooden foundation, deck, fence post, or porch step. This goes back to mistake number 3. Cardboard creates the exact, damp, dark, cellulose-rich condition that subterranean termites are searching for. University Extension Services are clear on this one. Keep cardboard mulch well away from any wooden part of the home. Red Zone 4. Hot, dry climates like Arizona, Nevada, and West Texas. Unless the garden is on consistent drip irrigation, cardboard turns brittle and waterproof in dry heat, even when soaked at installation. Without steady moisture and a heavy wood chip cover, the donut method still fails. Red Zone 5. Any garden with a history of heavy termite or vole activity. The $0 cardboard donut method reduces the risk, but does not eliminate it. In high-pressure pest zones, living mulch, straw, or pine needles are safer choices. Here is the entire $0 cardboard donut method on one screen. Pause the video and screenshot this. It is the only summary needed for next weekend. Rule 1. Keep 12 inches around the stem completely clear. No cardboard, no thick mulch, nothing. Rule 2. The donut trench must have a nitrogen feeding layer. Aged manure, coffee grounds, or fresh grass clippings. At least 2 inches deep before any cardboard goes in. Rule 3. Cardboard inside the trench must be torn into pieces 1 to 4 inches across. Never use whole sheets near the roots. Rule 4. Whole cardboard sheets only go beyond the 18-inch line. Always soak them first. Always cover with 3 inches of wood chips on top. Rule 5. Never use cardboard in wet clay, shallow containers, or anywhere within a few feet of the wooden parts of the house. This method is not new. Master Gardener programs running through cooperative extension services in Oregon, North Carolina, and Massachusetts have published guidelines for cardboard mulching for decades. The science is documented. The technique is field-tested. Heirloom indeterminate varieties like Cherokee Purple, Brandywine, Mortgage Lifter, and Big Beef have been documented at 100-pound seasonal harvests under optimal conditions when this kind of root zone discipline is followed. The $0 cardboard donut method is not a guaranteed 100-pound promise. It is a root zone safety system that gives a tomato plant the chance to reach the full potential its variety was bred for. Drop a comment with the state, the soil type, and the biggest tomato problem of the season. Every comment in the first week will get an answer. And if this video saved a single tomato plant, subscribe. The next one breaks down another gardening myth that 90% of YouTube videos still get dangerously wrong about tomatoes.